I don't want to be part of a big tent where like people's ideas get drowned out. I mean, I think you lose yourself politically in big systems like that. And that's why I like Young Act, because I feel like what we advocate for and what our members advocate for is properly heard, and that we make a lot of noise, and that people feel like they're actually involved rather than getting drowned out by some youth wing. Because like, my opinion on youth wings in general is they're actually very toxic places.
You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get to tell me.
Are you guys interested in learning more about acts? You want a good sticker? Hey, don't let the government, hurt you. So basically, libertarianism is about the freedom to do what you want, the freedom to live the kind of life you want, as long as it doesn't interfere with other people. So today we launched a drug policy, which basically proposes to legalize all drugs to varying degrees. And we think that that's a good policy for two reasons. The first reason being that we think it's like the best approach to harm reduction. But the second reason is actually we believe that people, if they want to consume these substances, then they should be able to. That's the whole philosophy of libertarianism. You do what you want, as long as it doesn't interfere with other people and their freedoms. Are you a very socially liberal person?
I think I am, yeah.
You see that guy there?
Yeah.
He's the most conservative MP in the National Party. He's against abortion, he's against euthanasia, and he's there with the Young Nats now.
Right, so that's not really what I want over there, then.
Yeah, and these guys, if you ask them, they won't tell you that. Whenever I'm trying to sell acts to people or Young Act, I'll always talk about our relation to national, because I think it best describes what we're about. We're kind of like the Nats, except we don't care if you smoke weed. We don't care if you have an abortion. We are pro-euthanasia. We're very socially liberal. We don't have MPs in our ranks who have written submissions against gay marriage. We don't have a leader who voted against gay marriage. We don't have a whole lot of old farts in our party.
Please don't go around saying we don't like gays, because that's not true. It's quite offensive. A number of our members are gay. I was at Pride, and it is defamation.
No, it's not defamation. You can go tell constantly. I don't care. I'm gonna say whatever I want to say. Okay, guess what? Instead of telling people you don't like gays, I'll say Simeon Brown wrote a submission against the marriage equality bill. I'll say Christopher Luxton goes to a church that hates gays. I'll tell you Phillips. Oh well, I'll just say that the last 5 people on the list hate gay people. Look, I'm gonna say what I want to say, okay? And you can do defamation if you want. Oh my God. Okay.
So engagement's up 300%.
Engagement's up 300%. Yo, this legalized drug policy is blowing up on social media, apparently. Hell yeah.
Do you want me to boost anything?
Have you seen the socials this morning? Man, we're getting media hits, man, on fucking Young Acts, man. It's a Young Act policy. Yeah, so it's not a policy that's endorsed by the ACT Party. It's a policy that's endorsed by Young Act. Oh yeah, absolutely, we're going to be pushing for the party itself to adopt the policy, but that's another question if they will. Young Act operates differently from other youth wings. We support the ACT Party fully, and we're going to advocate for ACT Party's policies, but we also come up with our own ideas, and we don't kind of just do what the party wants us to do. We're a bit rebellious in that sense. See you soon. So News Hub's going to be here to talk about our drug policy. It's good when things go well, and we were aiming for that to happen today, so it's a good day.
David Seymour is threatening to strip Young Act of its name if it doesn't clean up its act.
Look, it's great to have a youth wing that's engaged in pushing edgy ideas. I can see why kids join Young Act instead of the Young Nats, who seem to campaign for a cup of tea and biscuits.
Young Act's latest policy, certainly not a cup of tea and biscuits. They want full-blown legalisation of drugs, even the hard drugs.
I don't think this is an ACT Party policy you'll see anytime soon. Well, what I say to these kids is they're an independent organisation. If they go too far, we'll take away the name.
Afternoons with Sean Plunkett, Magic Talk.
And joining us now is the Young Act President, Felix Poole. Felix, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on, Sean. We're a free-thinking youth wing. We're not like the Young Nats. We're not like the Young Greens. We're not like Young Labour. We're not like any of those fellas who are party hacks. We're about advocating for policy we believe in. We're about advocating for policy which we think would make New Zealand a better place, a safer place, and where less people die of unnecessary drugs, where less people die of deaths.
You would say this is not ACT Party policy?
No, this is not ACT Party policy, but we're going to try with all our might to make it so.
To be honest, I wondered about taking this interview, Felix. If you haven't convinced your party leader to make this the party's policy, you're just whistling Dixie, buddy.
No, I don't think so. I think we're creating conversation. I think that we're advancing our agenda of legalising all drugs. I think we're doing a lot of stuff to make New Zealand better.
Felix Poole, the Young ACT president. I quite like their style. Screw David Seymour, screw the wider party. We're just going to go out and say that's what we want.
So how did you get news? Did you
as far as I know, we had a press release go out at 10:30 to like all the contact details we had, and I scheduled it on email the night before, and we had the social media stuff go out at 9:30, at 10 a.m. And then we just like told a whole lot of supporters to just share the shit out of it.
Imagine if you could do the same campaign on cost of living for students.
Oh, well, that's what we're planning to do next.
Sweet.
We're basically gonna.
Now that we've got your attention.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now that we've got their attention, here's all the other stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
We got an authentically alive youth.
Effective immediately, we will move to alert level 3 nationwide. After 48 hours, we will move to level 4.
I think the lockdown is affecting the youth and work quite significantly because obviously not able to meet in person with people, can't organise events, at uni in person. We're pretty much the only thing we've committed to as a youth wing is trying to remain online and engage our members and let them know we're still alive. It's hard to know how things will turn out in the next couple of months, so.
Young ACT's former Vice President has labelled the youth wing as an unsafe place for women after complaints of sexual harassment were ignored. Ali Gamata says she resigned from her role as Vice President last night because she had been experiencing inappropriate behaviour for months and nothing was done. The ACT Party also announced a short time ago it has appointed a specialist to investigate.
I wrote the flagship policy, which was the drug policy, which was a lot of fun to do. I resigned because I noticed even before I became Vice President that there was quite a lot of misogyny amongst a lot of the members, but that sort of built up over time. I think that once one person started becoming more vocal and more aggressive with it, it sort of became like a pack. Lots of slut-shaming, lots of speculation about women's sexual history. The thing that triggered my resignation was a conversation that I had with Felix. After I removed 2 members from one of our forums, he said, look, you can't just remove people, there's got to be some kind of process. And so he added them back into the forum, and so I was like, no, this is actually not okay. A lot of right-wing people don't seem to, especially libertarians, don't see a line because they're like, oh, free speech, you can say whatever you want. But that's not really what free speech means. Free speech is about a relationship between the citizen and the state, not between 2 individuals. So an individual can censor another individual, and that's not a violation of anyone's freedom of speech.
So basically, she resigned alleging, harassment within the organisation, and essentially as a result of that resignation, there's going to be an independent investigation into the allegations, into ACT, and hopefully that investigation will yield some changes that we can make and also allow us to punish those who did the harassment. We haven't officially put a halt on campaigning, but essentially no one's posting on social media. Everything is just taking a break. And I think it's the most appropriate thing to do because once a youth wing is put in this position or any organisation is put in the position, you really have to take a step back from whatever advocacy you're doing and just really figure things out and fix things. I would say Young ACT has a problem with harassment. It's not though a problem limited to Young ACT. It's kind of a problem that's occurred in every youth wing. We're a bunch of early 20s, late teens. And we've found ourselves in a position where we weren't prepared for something we should have been prepared for. Yeah.